We've all heard of a game called Fortnite and how successful it has been in the past couple of years, and the popularity of this game still continues to increase. And Fortnite was officially launched on the 26th of September in 2017 and has now been out for over 5 years. But a lot of people don't understand how successful this game has become. So in this video I'm going to be explaining how much money Fortnite has made in the past couple of years. From how much revenue it has made, to how many registered users there are, to how many monthly active players there are. So starting with how much revenue Fortnite has made in the past couple of years, in 2018, Fortnite generated $5.4 billion of revenue in just 2018 alone. Although this number decreases in 2019 to $3.7 billion, it's still an insane amount of revenue generated in 1 year. Then in 2020, it starts to increase back up, whether this be because of COVID lockdowns and restrictions. Nevertheless, we could still say that Fortnite was going to become more popular than ever. And this number increases even more in 2021 to the highest amount recorded, which was $5.8 billion of revenue generated in 2021, which even passed the amount in 2018 by around $400 million, which just shows Fortnite isn't going anywhere anytime soon and could even get more popular in the coming years. Now, if you add up all the revenue made in these 4 years, you'll get a total of $20 billion of revenue generated in only 4 years. And this isn't even mentioning the amount of revenue made in 2022, since 2022 hasn't ended yet, and the information for how much revenue Fortnite has made in 2022 hasn't been released yet. And the total of $20 billion also doesn't include the final months of 2017, which just shows the amount of money Fortnite generated is even greater than $20 billion. And if I was to make an approximation to how much total revenue Fortnite has generated in its lifetime, I would say roughly around $25 billion, which is just insane to think about. So on average, Fortnite made roughly $5 billion per year. And this is not including 2017, by the way. And if I was to use this average to calculate how much money Fortnite makes per day, it would be roughly around $14 million. However, if you try and look up a statistic on Google of how much money Epic Games makes from Fortnite per day, the number is way lower than 14 million. And the number is exactly $2,739,726. However, I believe Fortnite generates much more revenue than this, since I think this is just an average since its initial launch date. But if you want to get a rough idea of how much Fortnite is making per day right now, I'll stick with $14 million, since it's more of an accurate statistic. Now, going on to how much revenue Fortnite has generated from mobile players, in 2018, they made $100 million. In 2019, Fortnite made $450 million. And in 2020, just before it was banned for mobile players, they made $1.1 billion of revenue, which is one of the highest amount of revenue made in the history of mobile games. And it might even be the highest amount in mobile history of all time. From those 3 years, Fortnite generated $1.65 billion in total for mobile alone. So on average, from those 3 years, Fortnite made $1.5 million per day. Now, this is because of the amount of Fortnite users that played on mobile. Since on iOS alone, there has been 116 million Fortnite players, with 73 million of them playing exclusively on Apple handheld devices. Now, that statistic's insane, because just imagine how much more revenue Fortnite would have generated for mobile users if it didn't get banned on mobile devices. Now, moving on to the number of registered users. In 2017, there were 20 million registered users. In 2018, this number increased to 125 million, which is a 105 million increase. In 2019, this number increased to 250 million users, which is double of 2018. In 2020, this number further increased by 100 million to a total of 350 million registered users. And in 2021, there were over 400 million registered users, a 50 million increase from 2020. Now, this number is definitely greater than 400 million by now, and I'm saying there's roughly 450 million registered users by now. And this number could be a bit higher or a bit lower. Nevertheless, there is an insane amount of registered users in Fortnite, which makes sense to how Fortnite managed to generate lots of revenue and the reason for it being possible. And of course, in the coming years, there'll be even more registered users. Now, moving on to Fortnite's monthly active players. In 2018, on average, there was around 78.3 million monthly active players. In 2019, there was a little bit of a decrease, and on average, it was around 75.5 million monthly active players. In 2020, it increased even more to around 80.4 million monthly active players. And in 2021, the number of monthly active players in Fortnite increased again to around 83.3 million, and this number could even be higher in 2022, but information for that hasn't been released yet. But the best bet will be around 80 to 85 million monthly active players in Fortnite on average. From these 4 years, if you calculate the average monthly active players in Fortnite, it will be roughly around 80 million users, which is why my prediction for 2022 should be relatively accurate. And the median weekly time spent playing Fortnite stands at around 6 to 10 hours per week. So that's a rough estimate of how long people play Fortnite per week on average, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. But nevertheless, it should give you a rough estimate of how many hours people play Fortnite per week on average. Now, if you'd like to know the number of concurrent players, which is the number of players that play at the exact same time, on average it is between 2.5 2.9 and 4 million. And at the moment it is on the upper end of that average. So definitely over 3 million, which is enormous for a single game. Also, Fortnite is one of the most streamed games of all time on Twitch. Even right now, it has one of the highest amount of people streaming it, with millions of viewers tuning in. It is also one of the most watched games of all time in the history of gaming, and it's also being watched by many viewers for millions of hours, which adds to the popularity of the game. It's also collabed with many other franchises, such as Star Wars, Marvel, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia, just to name a few. It's also collabed with artists, YouTubers, and celebrities such as Travis Scott, Ariana Grande, Mr. Beast, Cypher PK, and many others. Now we can all agree that Fortnite has become a very successful game in the past couple of years, and the many factors I spoke about in this video that proves it to be correct, that it is one of the most popular and successful games of all time, and it is definitely Epic Games' most popular and successful game of all time, bringing in tons of revenue, tons of new players and fans to Fortnite, gaining lots of trust from players for games made by Epic Games, and much more. And Epic Games' net worth has increased dramatically because of the success of Fortnite, and at this moment Epic Games' net worth has reached $32 billion, and I'm sure Fortnite is a huge contributor towards that. So by now we should all be able to agree that Fortnite isn't dying anytime soon, and still has much more to offer to the players, fans, and community. And with the release of Chapter 4, popularity has continued to increase for this game, and will most likely continue to do so in the coming years. It will also most likely bring in billions of revenue for Epic Games in the coming years as well. So no one can really argue if Fortnite is a successful game or not, because it definitely is, and has many facts and reasons to prove it, just like the ones I've discussed in this video. If you found this video useful, do consider subscribing to the channel and turn on the notification bell to never miss out on any new amazing videos I upload. And if you haven't dropped a like on the video yet, feel free to do so now. And if you're struggling to level up fast in Fortnite Chapter 4, click onto the video on the screen right now, and they will teach you tons of tips and methods to help you level up fast in Fortnite Chapter 4. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.